to the Gotham Comedy Club. Please give a warm welcome to your host. You might have seen him in the movie Me, Myself, and Irene. The very funny Mr. Kevin Flynn. Show him some love.
Thanks, everybody. Elvis, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Look good, buddy. Thank you very much.
Ooh, very good. Very good. How are you, everyone? Good?
Hi.
You take first and they can hit my driver's license.
Okay, let's start the show this way. How are you, sir? That's your driver's license. Wait a minute. That's Elvis. Does that work? You should loan that to him tonight. He's not even talking to me anymore. He's gone already. So it's Halloween, everybody. You happy? You're here. You're here to see friends, right? Good. You're here to see friends. Everybody's here to see friends. Are you pissed you're here now because there's no one here? Are you kind of like, I really like him, otherwise I'd fucking leave right now. But I promised I'd be here, so I'm here. Did you come to see some people, Mr. Elvis? Did you come to see a friend? Or did you just happen to...
The police let me come down to
The police let you come down the street, so you came in here. Good. Good. Are we glad they let you in? Were you not? Well, happy Halloween to you, sir. Okay, because usually the club's packed. There's a lot of people here. It's a lot more fun, but we're really going to suck tonight. Everybody tell. I have a little girl, 20 months old, so I took her out on trick-or-treating for the first time tonight. It was a lot of fun. Except I'm a protective father, and it's New York City, you know, so I'm like, you know, the door opens, I'm like, just put the fucking candy in the bag, just relax. And if it's tampered with, I'm going to come back and I'm going to fuck with you bad. My little baby, she was very cute. And one person had an apple. Can you believe that in my building? There's always one apple, and you always get it every year. Like someone comes out like, have an apple. I got my baby now, she's like, apples suck. Apples always suck. They're tampered with. I don't know. So you guys didn't get dressed up, huh? No go? Commitment? I was preoccupied, so I didn't get dressed up. Did you think about dressing up? Not at all. Never even crossed your mind. It's funny how that works, because you're like, what, do I have a costume on all of a sudden? You wanna... it's funny how that works, because when you're younger, you love to dress up. Then you get like, you know, high school age, and you're like, fucking not dress up, that's uncool. Shit. Then you get to college again, you're like, fucking dress up and get hammered. It's like another reason to get dressed up. And I remember growing up, it was always the hobo. That's what, guys, that was our old standby. Jesus Christ. You can hear him paging people outside, nice. Sort of when you're a kid, you know, you're just a hobo. That's a standby for a guy. Because every year I'd be like, I'm gonna be an astronaut with shiny suit and a helmet and all this stuff. 10 minutes before you're supposed to go out, I'm like, fucking, I'm a hobo. Just to color my face, put a hat on, I'm going out. You can't be a hobo anymore either. It's politically incorrect. You know? In New York, how do you have Halloween in New York anyway? Is it pretty much every day Halloween in New York? Yeah. They have the people coming down, it like, looks like, yeah, that's what you wear every day. Isn't that an outfit? I like the guy in August wearing the down jacket walking towards you. A nice one. He's not a skier. I have a stepdaughter too, she went out as Britney Spears tonight. I don't get that. She's 15, she went out as Britney Spears. She's in a miniskirt and like pumps that her mother wouldn't let her wear normally, so she's Britney Spears. I'm like, that's stupid. She goes, why? I'm like, well, because it's a person. You don't have an outfit on. She goes, it's not dumb. I'm like, all right, I'm going out as Brad Pitt tonight. She goes, you don't look like him. I go, yeah, exactly. That's the thing, exactly. I think we should, you know what, guys? We should just go out and trick-or-treat like this, guys who aren't dressed up. Let's just trick-or-treat tonight. We'll just knocking on doors at like 10 o'clock. Trick-or-treat. Aren't you guys a little old trick-or-treat? Aren't you guys trick or fucking treat, lady? Start putting watches in the bag. Okay. Elvis, man, you been Elvis before?
Hey man, I've always been Elvis.
You're Elvis every year?
Every year.
That's one of those things that's like showing that's who you really want to be. You really want to be Elvis. It's like, I had one friend in college, he was just too willing to dress up like a girl every year. You know what I mean? He'd look really, like, put all the makeup on and he'd be like, I think I look really good. Like, you're scaring the shit out of me, Frank. Just admit it. You want to wear the clothes. So this should be an interesting night. It's a very small, intimate crowd. You're miserable that I'm up here, but I actually have to do some time, okay? Just bring the people up. I'm contracted to do a little bit of time, so just do some for you. I used to run from house to house. Did you do that? You just don't want to be involved with me at all. You're just fucking miserable. I used to run from house to house. You do that when you just got the pillowcase? Did you carry the pillowcase? Pillowcase from house to house. And I used to just run, try to get as much candy as I could. I'd have like dump off areas and places where I'd store my candy. It was like supply line, you know? And I would just run from house to house. By like 10 o'clock at night, I'd be like, Chick-fil-A. Hey, what are you, little boy? Just put it in the bag. I got a schedule, lady. Hello, please. So, saw one guy wearing the Yankees uniform out there. That was his outfit. Not like a little kid, like 40-year-old plumber wearing a Yankees uniform. You know, I went to one of the games in Shea Stadium, and it's scary because the guy in front of me had the same thing, the top and the pants on. And he's getting drunk, and I know what he thinks. He thinks, you know what, if I get drunk enough and enough people get hurt, I just might get in. And he says to his girlfriend, I swear he says it, he turns to his girlfriend and he goes, fucking guys, man. And he goes, that baseball, man. He goes, I could have been a pro, but the coach and shit. That was the end of his professional career, the coach and shit. I just tapped him on the shoulder. I'm like, yeah, I know, I could have been a doctor, but you know, the science and shit. You know, that's it's kind of hard. Did you watch the series? Anybody?
Yeah.
It's the lowest rated series in history. Can you believe that? With all the action that happened, like the Clemens thing, throwing the broken baseball bat. Said it was a baseball. Said it, I mean, no jock is that dumb. Or maybe. I thought it was a baseball. And then that's so far off that Yankee fans even didn't believe him. They were like, he thought it was a... He's fucked up, man. Wow, that's... He's out there. Shea Stadium was fun though because the public address announcer was hysterical because he's like the whitest guy in America and he was trying to speak with a Spanish accent. He's like, next up, batting third, Jorge Posada. I just don't get it. I don't know. I got in the 7 subway on the way home. It's always fun. You ever take that home from the stadium? Yeah. It's great just be pressed in there, you know. Some guys like grinding me from the back. I'm like, oh great. I liked it, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying. Split up. There. How are you? Before you sit down, you might be able to turn and run around and get out of here. What do you mean? No costumes tonight?
No, I forgot.
You forgot? Did you forget, really? Walking around New York? All these people coming down the street? Did you ever dress up? Did you dress up like a kid when you were a kid?
2 days ago.
2 days ago you dressed up?
Yeah.
What parade was that on? Just in your house dressing up. You run around, I'm Little Bo Peep, woo! YMCA just came in, the female version. How are you, ladies? Good to see you, the construction worker. Hey, what'd you dress up as? I'm not letting you off the hook yet. Go ahead.
I was a king.
You were a king?
Yeah.
And who was your queen?
Oh, I just have another king.
Okay, you fill in the blanks there, folks. It's alright, that's good. There's a king of elves right there. Want to sing a song for us, Evan? You don't want a little something? You can do the Elvis.
Like.
All you said thank you was thank you very much, and I pulled it away halfway through it. I mean, how bad? All right, do it again, ready?
Thank you very much. Like.
See? Thank you, Elvis.
Ask him to do the pose.
Do the what? The pose? Can you do the pose? Here, no, do thank. Come on up. Come on up, dude. Jesus, the white belt too. Where'd you get that one, man? All right, here, take the mic, Al. Do the thank you and the pose.
Thank you very much.
Elvis is killing. Elvis has not left the building. He'll be here all night. Here's Colonel Tom Parker right here. He's got his license. Very good. Girls, where were you guys tonight? Just here. You were working? Where do you work?
Chaffin Consulting.
Chaffin Consulting? What do they consult about? Architecture? And do you consult? Do you like just, what do you just, like they call you up and you're like, no, that's not going to work. That's
You
a
don't
little,
want to build that.
you don't want to build it?
Try something new.
And can you call me tomorrow? I got to go to a Halloween party. And then you charge them like $16
Way more than
consulting.
that.
God. You know, my friend had a job with Disney. He was called an idea man for Disney. That was his job title, an idea man. I'd get hired Monday morning. I'd go in and go, how you doing, guys? A couple ideas I was kicking around over the weekend. How about a 2-hour lunch? Good idea, okay. Here's another one. 4-day weekend, how about that? That's another idea. Now we all go home now. That's my new idea. You guys gonna go somewhere else after this? Wow, you're looking very sexy there, girls. You disrobed the minx. Is that a real fur? Ooh, you could get in trouble, huh? People throwing red stuff at you? But then it would hit your dress and it would be alright. What are you dressed as? A devil. Oh, like Elizabeth Hurley, kind of. Like I said, would you like to come up here? Stand up? Come on, we've had fucking Elvis. At least give something for the rest of us. No? All right. Well, at least you're not Britney Spears. Well, that's pretty much all I had to talk about, I guess, for Halloween. I was talking about baseball a little bit. Did you go to the games, watch the games at all, or anything? You Mets fans? The Yankee fans here?
Yeah.
The Yankees are winning too much, don't you think? It's going to be bad for the game eventually. It's like a fucking all-star team. It's unbelievable. Actually, you know, when the Yankees won this year, and I'm always a baseball fan, but my friends were like, what'd you do when the Yankees won? I'm like, I got pissed. They're like, why? I'm like, because the guys yelling outside woke up the baby. Now I'm getting older, you know? Plus I get scared about, like the guy wearing the uniform, you know? Like, some guy's just hammered walking down the street, alone, Upper East Side, he's just going, fucking Yankees, man! All alone. It's like 2 in the morning, fucking Yankees, man! Which is great. Then this guy's gotta go home to somebody. What is he shouting? Yankees, fucking Yankees, man. Alright, well, what do you want to talk about? Anything? Politics? Who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for Gore? I am too, I think, but I tell you what, we got to vote for one of these two, and it's just not happening. You going to vote for Bush? Are you going to vote for Bush?
I'm going to vote for Bush, yes.
You are? Just because you like the liberal. He's going to win New York. I saw the debate, that was interesting. Every one of them. You know, first of all, they told Gore to loosen up. They should give him like a yoga class or something. Cause the guy's and not only was he so stiff, but he kept making those like 3rd grade math teacher noises. Like, this wasn't moving. Even like he was trying to look at Bush. He was like, it felt like his head was going to move back and a big pez was going to come out of his neck. And then Bush with his fuzzy math. Fuzzy math is how he got into Yale. That's what's fuzzy about it. The kid's been, I don't know, I can't stand entitlement. I can't stand rich kids who basically just, you know, he shouldn't have got into Yale, he shouldn't have got into Harvard. His first job was when he was 37 as a general manager of a baseball team. Shit, why couldn't I have done that? You know? Plus I can't vote for him for one huge reason. He was a cheerleader in college. That's all I'm going to say. I miss I want the other guys up there debating. Nader doesn't look like he'd be a good debater. Buchanan is kind of a Nazi. And let's see, who else? I want to bring back Perot. They said that Perot didn't get elected because he made bad television. I thought he made great television on the Cartoon Network. Those big ears, I used to just imagine Ross Perot running through a cornfield must sound like baseball cards on bicycle spokes. I want Jesse up there too. Jesse was passionate. Jesse Jackson's passionate when he talks. I was always waiting for Jesse to slip in the middle of one of his speeches with a motherfucker. When I feel to all the people and all the motherfuckers. Sorry, my bad. But we're all gonna miss Clinton. I'll tell you that. President Clinton. Well, good president, I think, personally, and, but also comedically, there was a lot of material that he put out there for us. New York Times defined the definition of sex, front page in New York Times. Remember that? Did you bump, touch, or grind her buttocks, breasts, or genitals? That's the definition of sex, ladies and gentlemen. Which is very scary because apparently we have it every day in a crowded subway. 42nd Street, excuse me. Whoop, didn't mean to fuck you there, sorry. I was trying to get the local and I fucked you. Sorry. Okay. Well, give yourselves a round of applause. Your good friends are coming out to see your friends tonight. They really are. We have a lovely show for you. Elvis will not be singing, but he's still in the building. Yes? Yes. All right, and now I'm going to bring up your first performer. Oh, actually, I know this guy. This is one of the professionals. Very funny man. Works clubs and colleges all across the country. Also writes some comedy for the Sci-Fi Network. Dustin Chaffin, folks. How about a hand for Dustin Chaffin?
Give him some love. Come on, show him some love. It's hard to open it up. Give him some super love. Woo! Halloween. amazing. Halloween, man, you never know in New York if they're just celebrating or that's just how people look every day. They got the green hair and the web. Hey, he wears that to work. This is amazing. My last girlfriend, she was a dud, man. She didn't celebrate Halloween. She was a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, she was great. You would think that'd be the only holiday they celebrate, because everybody's out knocking on doors. That should be like their national holiday. Get a little candy corn, the doors actually open that day. Should make that the new Jehovah holiday. It didn't work out. We had a lot of problems. The problem was every time she came over, I wouldn't let her in. She's knocking on my door, let me in. I'm hiding behind the couch. We worship Satan, biatch, go away. Put the pamphlet under the door, you freak. She was crazy. She was crazy. She was always trying to convert me, too. That's a weird religion, man. Weird religion. They only believe 144,000 people are going to make it in the kingdom of heaven. I think in those kind of odds, fuck it, I'm sinning. You know? What, I got to compete in line with Mother Teresa? I don't think so. I can't even get Nick tickets like I'm going to get heaven tickets. Woo! I'm burning, baby. I'm burning. Don't trust religion sometimes. You know why? Because I read the Bible. They did a lot of drugs in the Bible. Do you know that? They did. Smoking all that opium, drinking that homemade wine. I think that explains all the visions. Yeah, I don't think Moses saw the burning bush. I think Moses might have been burning some bush. Writing stuff down, confusing people. That's what I think. Who knows what happened in the Bible? They saw all kinds of stuff. Saw Jesus walking on the water. He could have just been walking on a sandbar, you know. Some drunk guy named Freddie wrote it down. They misinterpreted it. Yeah, Jonas inside a whale for 3 days. Maybe just had a thing for big girls. Who knows? All right. Shake it up, Ellis. All right. Crazy, crazy stuff. Drugs, drugs. My mom, she did a lot of drugs. She smoked a lot of weed, as you can tell. She did. She did. You know what? She got mad at me when I started smoking weed. She did. She found my stash. She says, what's this? Look at this. Look at all the seeds in this. How much you pay for this? Woo! Beat me with her pipe. Back of the head. All right. Hurts. Yes, it does. I'm from Texas. Anybody from Texas?
Yo!
Woo! What part of Texas, cowboy?
Dallas!
Dallas, Texas. I'm from a little town called Racism. I don't know if you heard of it. Yeah, it's right outside homophobia. Yeah. It's about 10 minutes from GED. It's a small little town. Good chicken fried steak, though. Are you really from Dallas, Texas?
Right.
Welcome, man. You live here or you just...
No.
You just came...
up north to see what goes on.
Oh, there's some crazy motherfuckers out here, huh? Like, fuck it, I'm going back in my red suit. All right. Getting out of here, man. Welcome, man. It's crazy out here, man. You like Texas? Born and raised? Oh, man, that's a crazy town. Hey, people aggressive in Texas. You get your ass kicked for just wearing a clean shirt. Be like, hey, dry cleaning is for queers. Get him, Dickie. Starch, man. Let it go, Dickie. All right. Crazy. My high school, we had a rodeo team. How about you? Yeah, that's wrong. You could letter in rodeo, my high school. People just roping calves in third period. That ain't cool. I was a funny man, so they made me the rodeo clown. All right. Woo, I ran in a barrel all the way out of that town. Texas. Texas. You like Bush? Well, not that kind of Bush. George W., what do you think?
I voted with the Papa. Emilio.
Yeah, whatever that means. All right. You've been drinking. Huh, Red? You've been drinking it up? Smoking a little crack. It's New York. They give it away. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. A lot of people say George W. Bush. I don't know. Last time I had a cokehead Texan run in my life, I called him Daddy. So I'm going to pass on that one. I'll pass. I don't know, man. Then you got Gore, this guy. Man, talk about a personality. The personality is speak and spell. All right. The American people. All right. Crazy. You know what bothers me about Gore is all about the censorship in the movies. This is crazy. You know what? And people say that violent movies make people go out and do violent things. I don't think movies have that much power. I never walked out of a movie theater and said, hey, I'm going to go do what they did in that movie. Except for maybe porno. That's like, you got the leather mask, the midget, the llama. Dressed up like Papa Smurf. Got the fly swatter. That was my weekend. All right. Still got the scars. Violence. A lot of violence in this country. A lot of violence. They try to blame teenage violence on things like video games. That's a big thing, right? Because of the graphics. Got the big graphics in the video games. You know what? We were violent when I was a kid, not because the video games had graphics, because video games had no graphics. Remember that? The Atari Pong? Remember that? That would piss you off, man. It was this for like 6 hours. After about 6 hours of that, you wanted to kill somebody. Somebody for giving you a shitty game. Atari, remember that with the square Pac-Man? That was just me. All right, I'm the old one. I'm the old one. I tell you, violence. They try to blame violence on music. That's a big thing, right? Like bands like Marilyn Manson, you know Eminem. You can't blame teenage violence on shitty music. Hey, I grew up a Rick Springfield. I never killed anybody. Jesse's girl. All right. I actually met Rick Springfield. He works at Ray's Pizza on 3rd Avenue. Him and Scott Baio. I walked in, I was like, hey, who's in charge? Chachi, spit on my pizza. Violence, violence. Talking about drugs earlier. They try to blame violence on the drugs. Hey, man. If it wasn't for drugs, Elvis, I would kill people. Everybody's got the drug, whether it's Amstel Light, weed, Xanax, Dexatrim, something keeps you from slapping stupid people. People piss you off. Fruit roll-ups, something. You got a vice. Something St. John's wort, something suppresses the anger, right? I tell you, I hate these anti-weed commercials. You seen these things? Got that kid on there? He's like, hi, my name's Larry. I smoked weed once. Next thing you know, I'm stealing from my grandmother and selling my ass for heroin. Hey, I smoke weed, and next thing you know, I'm asleep. What kind of weed you smoking, Larry? I don't know, but I'm not gonna party with you. Freak. Long hitting a toss salad, not my kind of party. Weed is friendly. It is friendly. It's a good drug. I think so. Smoke a little weed red back in the day. Look like a beatnik. You Caravac, just smoking one up? That's cool, man. Are you a musician or anything, man? You look like a jazz musician. You like play the trumpet or something? What do you do, man? I'm curious. Oh, shit. You're in the right town, buddy. There's some fucked up people. Half of them walking outside, man. People with toilets on their head and crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, I see a lot of nuts, huh? Yeah, a lot of crazy people. Yeah, a lot of people do the drugs. I tell you, I think weed is a good drug. I do. I agree. I think it's a good drug. Because weed's the kind of drug, weed won't make you, like, suck a cock behind a dumpster with a wig on. You know? Unless you want to, then it's a party. Bring red and White Castle. It's a good time. All right. Crazy stuff. Oh, my goodness. Crazy what we're going to talk about now. I tell you, New York City's a crazy place. Anybody, you guys like Giuliani? Like this guy? Yeah. Yeah? Nazi prick, that's what I say. Okay. Giuliani, you like him? He cleaned it up a little bit. But he's messing with a lot of stuff, though, he shouldn't be messing with. Like the museums. What do you think about that? That was wrong, right? Trying to close down museums. He was quoted as saying that those exhibits were not art, just bad taste and affected people in a negative manner. And meanwhile, Footloose is on Broadway. What the fuck are you talking about? Mess. If you drink and drive, he'll take your car. That is ridiculous. Even drunk, I drive better than the fucking cabbies. He even messed with the strip clubs. This is the big one. Made the women in the strip clubs wear more clothes. This one affects me the most. It does. I went into a strip club here in New York City. There was a woman dancing on stage wearing sweatpants. Adidas sweatpants. I'm thinking, I want to see a woman dancing around in sweatpants. I'll get married. All right. For a $9 beer, I want to see a butt crack and a nipple. All right. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. Nipples, that's right. You got kids, Fred? You got kids? How many kids you got? You're close, huh? You got 3? That's cool, man. Did they give you trouble when they were young? No. They were good kids? Yeah. I don't have kids. I got a little nephew. He's 2 years old, right? He pulls attitude because he's going through the potty training stage. You know that big thing? It's been a while, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I was over at my brother's house Thanksgiving dinner. My little nephew comes running out with a plastic toilet. takes a shiat, right? Everybody gets up, gives him a standing ovation. Like, oh, Petey did a poopy. I did the same thing on New Year's Eve, now nobody will talk to me. You got a standing ovation, I got a restraining order. And then I got a little cousin, he's nuts. He's a big internet guy, right? Says he's in 3rd grade. Says he meets girls on the internet. I'm thinking, when I was in 3rd grade, you want to meet a girl, man, you just passed her a note, remember that? Wrote something real cool, like, hey, I think you're foxy, if you dig me, check the boxy. That's not I go to his house, got a little high-tech computer room. He's got the scanners and the modems and the digital cameras. When I was his age, I was spelling boob on the calculator. Check it out, boobless. My name's Dustin, enjoy your show, good night.
Dustin was late getting here. Mass transit, New York City. I have a tough time getting around in New York because I speak English. I don't know if anyone else does. My first cab ride in New York City, I'm like, hey, do an East 80th, please? 85th? No, East 80th, please? 88th? No, East 80th? 88th? What? What? No, what did you say? What? N2A? What? Get on the catwalk, man! Oh, they fucking, what? Get pissed quick, don't they? Actually, you know what to do when you live in New York, though, for a long time? You get in the cab and you're always like, how you doing? East 80? 80? Oh, please, 80. Big O's, yo. Every once in a while you get the American guy, he turns around and is like, what the fuck is your problem? Sorry, I'm new here. You take the bus in New York, that's always fun, isn't it? It's so convenient, everybody says. Oh, it's convenient. The bus is convenient in New York because it stops every 30 or 40 fucking feet. First time I took the bus in New York, I actually missed the bus. I'm like, ah, shit, I missed the bus. I'm gonna have to take the subway. Hey, I caught up to the bus. I just passed the bus. Fuck the bus. All right, who is up next? Okay, it's kind of a dyslexic nightmare for this name, because I had it, but then it wasn't sure which way it went. He's a very funny man, I think. I just met him out there. He's also been on Comedy Central. And see, I kept screwing. Richard Steven, folks. Richard Steven. Richard.
Yo, what's up, New York? We get this party started. MC Crack Pipe is in the house. Halloween night, we're keeping it real. I want everyone to say ho. I want everyone to say hell yeah. I want everyone to say, smash that pumpkin! I want everyone to say, Trudy got a booty! Sorry, I got a little carried away there. I was listening to a Lawrence Welk record on the way in here. And this dope fat polka groove just made me want to throw my hands in the air and wave them like I just didn't care. I apologize for that. It's good to be here Halloween night. Put a lot of effort into my costume, as you can probably tell. I'm dressed as a self-conscious urban hipster. I actually wrote some yoga-inspired poetry that I downloaded on my Palm Pilot. I was going to read it, but I accidentally left it in my Williamsburg loft, along with my venti no-foam latte and my angst. Sorry about that. To tell you the truth, I was originally planning to dress up as Janet Reno's jockstrap, but all the costume stores were sold out of that particular number. I'm not sure why, but so it's good to be here. Gotta confess, I had a bit of bad news land on my doorstep. I just found out my favorite local coffee shop is going to be turned into a trendy new bakery called Hot and Crusty. Now, call me unhip, but I'd prefer not to buy my muffins at an establishment whose name sounds like the symptoms of chlamydia. Way in here, parked over on the street, I saw a 77 Dodge Dart, a sign in the window stating, "Nothing in car to steal." I just want to say to the owner, hey, thanks for the tip-off. You know, I was really looking to get my hands on an 8-track player and a Pine Tree air freshener. I guess I'll try that 82 El Camino with a fucking wooden bumper instead. Well, a friend of mine just got AOL. He convinced me to try internet dating. I guess the appeal of this is that now, instead of having to get dressed up, pay for drinks and then be rejected. I can now be rejected in the privacy of my own home while only wearing socks. But pretty nice socks, actually. So anyway, I figured, you know, wouldn't be any harm in running my e-profile up the internet flagpole, seeing saluted. From the responses I got, I found out that internet dating appeals to a very special and distinct segment of the population. People with no lives. I mean, these women are about as appealing as Nell Carter Crocs' thong. You know, I'd rather spend my Saturday nights alone in a dark room with a bottle of wild turkey and a John Tesh record than date a 45-year-old Avon lady with a Bless This Home pillow collection. One woman wrote to me, she seemed normal enough. And I clicked on her profile and found out she was carrying more baggage than a DC-10 the day before Thanksgiving. Every other word in her little profile, these angry capital letters. I will not be used and abused in a relationship. If you're looking for a one-night stand, get a prostitute. I once had a body like a model and I will again. But right now I'm taking some prescription medication for my back that's making me gain excessive weight. Deal with it! Whoa, slow down there, you seductive temptress. You like bitterness and excessive personal info to make me fall head over heels. So, who's voting for George W. for president? Yeah. Anybody? Can't believe this guy's gotten as far as he has. In my mind, he's got the intellectual firepower of a brain-damaged slug that just got run over by Farmer Bob's tractor. He's always got these vague, simplistic phrases. As governor of Texas, I'm going to set agendas. I'm a coalition builder. I'm a uniter, not a divider. The only thing this guy ever united as governor of Texas, the quivering butt cheeks of a death row inmate in an electric chair set an extra crispy. Alright? Everyone knows that. Of course, when it comes to being a divider, he's not giving himself enough credit. From what I've heard, he's pretty damn good at getting those lines of cocaine perfectly separated on the mirror. Subliminal. Well, my flight to LA was delayed for an hour and a half. Because one of the flight attendants was stuck at another airport. In situations like these, they should simply deputize a willing passenger. I mean, if the airlines would expect the people who sit in the exit rows to remove the plane's door and help people with the escape slide after crashing into the ocean at 3,000 miles per second, I think they can trust one of us to distribute the honey-roasted peanuts properly. I think I'm a bit arrogant when I say this, but pour a can of Sprite into a plastic cup at 35,000 feet like you wouldn't believe. Well, I've been watching a lot of Lifetime television lately for research purposes. I keep seeing this ad for Monistat, the yeast infection cure, and apparently this stuff comes in 3 strains. There's Monistat 7, which will cure the yeast infection in a week. There's Monistat 3, which will get rid of it in 3 days. There's Monistat 1, which will get rid of it overnight. Now, I'm no expert on yeast infections. I can't even bake a decent loaf of bread. But, you know, what woman's going to say to herself, could get rid of this itchy, burning sensation overnight, or I could enjoy it for a full 7 days. I think the choice is obvious. I'm going for the 7-day plan. Thanks a lot, folks. Folks have been great.
Folks. Another white boy rapping, huh? I love that when white guys come out and rap like, yo, what's up? Trying to keep it real. It's like, really? You went to prep school, shithead. I don't get how real that is. Gonna keep the show moving right along. Welcome to our new guests. How are you? Happy Halloween. Did you dress up?
No, it's kind of boring.
Nah, well, we just went through this. This guy didn't want to commit to anything. It's his fault, all of us. We just followed suit. All right, I'm going to bring up this next performer. Very funny man and good friend of mine. Folks, having a hand for the comedy of Danny Cohen. Danny Cohen!
Crazy things are happening, crazy. I was sitting on the subway, and all of a sudden the lights went out, and I heard somebody scream, so I held onto my wallet. I don't know what the hell's going on here. A minute later, the lights come back up, and I realized somebody had stolen my brooch. That's crazy. I told this story to my mother, she started crying. She's like, I can't take these stories anymore. I can't, Danny, when are you gonna settle down and get married? When? I was like, Mom, I can't get married now. Not without my brooch. That's how I communicate with my mother. That's how we communicate, we allude to everything. It's not about honesty in my house, it's all about lies. It's about lying and lying and lying. It's all about lie. My mother's always lied to me her whole life. I lied to my mother, she lies back. I don't even know if she's my mother. I don't know if I'm even me. I don't even know anything, I don't know who's who anymore, it's crazy. And my mother always, my mother always makes it a point to let me know how she feels about my sexuality. Like the other day, my knee was killing me. So I was like, Mom, do you have been gay? And she looked at me and she was like, Danny, you know I don't like that. I don't want you using it. I was like, Ma, it's Ben Gay. I need it for my knee. She's like, you don't need Ben Gay for your knee. You don't need it. I know you want it, but you don't need it. I was like, Ma, get over it. I need it for my... No. You know what? You want to wear Ben Gay, no problem, but not in this house. You go wear Ben Gay somewhere else. Not in this house. You want to know... If that's what you want to do with your life? You want to wear Ben Gay? No problem. Rub Ben Gay all over the place. Rub it on your legs. Rub it on your chest. Rub it on your ass. You know what people are going to say about you if you wear Ben Gay? You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, this kid stinks. Because he wears Ben Gay. No problem. That's the way you want to live your life. Go right ahead. Go wear Ben Gay. My mother's the most miserable person you'll ever meet. It's true. You know how some people see the glass like half empty? I see the glass half full. But my mother sees the glass smashed. She's a miserable person. There's no making her happy. Not making her happy. She's always screaming. The best part about my mom, when she screams, she makes no sense. And when I was a kid, it was always so much fun getting her angry. Like, she'd be like, that's it, Danny. You know what? You and your stories. You're going to march right up those stairs and stay in your room until I tell you to come out. And that was scary. But what was really scary was we didn't have any stairs. I'd be like, oh my God, where am I going to go? I'm just going to stand over here and wait till she stops screaming. She'd be like, she'd be like, that's it, Danny, you're always singing and dancing. That's all you do, you sing and dance. Go outside and go play with the boys. Go learn, I don't know, play basketball or baseball. And I grew up in Brooklyn, they were really tough. And I was afraid to go outside. But, I'd go outside and they'd come up to me and they'd start, they'd start up with me. We're going to get you, Danny Cohen. We're going to get your pansy ass. And they'd start chasing me. And I would start screaming and I would start running. And it was so hard running with my mother's shoes on. Wow, because they were pointy. They were really pointy. I grew up with a really tough brother, really tough guy, and he loved it when the guys beat me up. He was like, yeah, you deserve it, Dan. It's a good thing those guys were chasing you. You need the exercise. And then my grandmother, who was hard of hearing, she'd scream out, don't tell him to accessorize. Don't do that. That's what got him in the situation in the first place. They're all crazy, right? But you gotta smile. You gotta smile it off. I don't want to grow up angry, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at the bright side of all these things. And we all go through our things in life. But I grew up in a really hostile environment. My dad was a butcher. Yeah, he was tough. He was like one of those big burly, I'm a butcher. And he used to beat me. But now I realize he was only tenderizing me. And I used to cover the bruises with my mother's Maybelline foundation. And all my friends are like, Danny, you know, that's not even funny. That's considered child abuse. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's child abuse. Maybe it's Maybelline. You gotta look at the bright side of things. You got to. You know, I was on a really crowded city bus and it was packed. And there was a half a seat next to me. So this woman was standing, she thought she was gonna be able to squeeze into the seat, but there was no room and she was sitting on top of me. So I felt like yelling at her, you know, I was like, she was heavy. I was like, you know what, Danny, don't yell at her. Turn it into love. So I turned to her and I was like, hello. I'm so glad you decided to sit on top of me. You know, I've been watching you ever since you got on the bus, and I think you're special. I really appreciate you sitting on top of me. So do you like vanilla ice cream? You got a website? So she looks at me, she's like, are you crazy? I was like, yeah, I'm crazy. Crazy in love with you. She got off the next stop. Then I was at a department store and I was waiting online for like 15 minutes until I realized the 3 people in front of me were mannequins. I got so angry, I was wasting so much time. I said, don't get angry, they're just mannequins. They don't know. So by accident, maybe out of rage, I knocked the mannequins over and there were bodies everywhere. It was like there was a drive-by shooting and I was a survivor. You know, like, Danny Cohen makes it out alive. You know? So I start picking the mannequins up and oh, they're really cumbersome, I'll tell you. They're really heavy. All I know is that one of the heads rolled down the stairs and I heard somebody scream. I don't know what was going on, you know? So I'm sitting, and the display manager comes running up to me, he goes, hey, I saw what you did to those mannequins, I'm calling security. I was like, oh no, it was an accident, I'm really sorry, I'm just gonna pick them up. He goes, no, I saw what you did, I'm calling security. So I looked at him and I was, oh yeah, Joe? What are you gonna tell him? That I killed the mannequins? I'll deny everything, I'll say it was an accident. Look at yourself, Joe, you've been drinking. You're a drunk. Who do you think they're gonna believe, Joe? Think about it. Me, a paying customer? Or you, a drunk display manager? So he looks at me, he's like, no, you're crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm crazy, Joe. Crazy in love with you. I gotta go, I'm Danny Cohen, thank you. Danny Cohen, kids. Danny Cohen.
Anyway, we had a lot growing up, it's very similar, Danny and I. My father was afraid I was gonna be gay growing up, too. I had a lot of sisters. My father was like a high school football coach. Turned out much worse for my dad. I wound up playing soccer. Serious, my father used to come to my soccer games and he'd just stand on the sidelines, keep yelling, pick up the ball! Pick it up, you're kicking around like a bunch of fairies. Pick it up and hit somebody, for Christ's sake. You're an American. I actually learned how to play soccer from my grandfather on the weekends. He came over from Ireland every weekend, which I thought was nice. My grandfather would always yell out, it could be worse. That was his favorite expression, it could be worse. Didn't matter how bad something was, my grandfather always felt it could be worse. When I was 14, I broke my leg, compound fracture, lying on the soccer field. My grandfather comes running over, swear to God, he's like,
all right, now get up, it could be worse. That's right, you could have broken both legs, how's that for worse? Could be worse than that, even you could be dead and buried, lying 6 feet underground, looking up saying, oh boy, how I wish I was back up here with my one little broken leg.
my father on the other side of the field, get up, you fairy, Jesus Christ, walk it off. But I'm going to bring up your next performer, a very funny man, appears at clubs all over the city. Folks, have a hand for the comedy of Krista Fate. Krista Fate.
So we buried my grandmother today. You should have seen the look on her face. Never saw it coming. Hadn't a clue. She put up a good fight, though. Those hard candies really hurt. Especially the butterscotch. There's been a lot of death in my family recently. My father, he died in his sleep. Of course, he shouldn't have been driving that school bus at the time. My brother was hit in the stomach with a phone book, and he died instantly. Mom was run over by a steamship. My second cousins were all killed by my first cousins, who were then killed by wolves. Everybody else fell down the stairs. I myself am dying on the stage right now. Thank you. And I've come to the conclusion that when I die, I do not want to be buried or cremated. First of all, what a waste of a perfectly good suit. Cremation makes absolutely no sense. Let's fit him for a $2,000 suit, stick him in a $1,000 box, and then burn everything. No, sir, when I die, I want to be stuffed and mounted on a stand. And I want my friends to take turns putting me in their homes as like a showpiece. And I want to have wires running through me so I can be shaped into different poses. Go on vacation, just prop me up in the window to ward off burglars. Just give me like a paper towel and a bottle of Windex. So I do a lot of drugs. Well, let me make this perfectly clear. I do not advocate drug use. And it's simply for the fact that there's a lot of people out there that can't handle them. And I think you know the folks I'm talking about. They lose their wife, their job, family leaves them. They go crazy in public places. And it's because of these people, a few bad apples, why drugs are illegal. Folks, would you do us a favor, please? If you can't handle the drugs, don't do them. But stop fucking it up for the rest of us. If every time you do cocaine, you have a tendency to run naked down the street, screaming and masturbating at 5 o'clock in the morning with your pubic hair on fire, for the love of God, stop doing cocaine. Because you are fucking it up for the rest of us. If you can't have a conversation with somebody without thinking they're a seagull, maybe acid's not for you. If every time you take ecstasy you fuck the sink, you are enjoying it far too much. If every time you shoot heroin you shit yourself, throw up, and stare at the wall for 4 hours, well, chances are you're doing it right. Just make sure you keep it indoors, okay? Because that's when people start to talk. Yes, Bob's a cool guy. Until he shits himself. Then he's tough to talk to. If you're making a bong out of a coconut in the middle of the afternoon, and you are not in college anymore, and you should be working on your stand-up act, then we should do lunch. I get high, I can admit it, and when I do so, I like to watch Scooby-Doo. Do we have any Scooby-Doo fans in the house tonight? Fantastic. There's one thing about Scooby-Doo that I do not understand, and that is If Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo are both dogs, why is it that when Scrappy speaks you can understand him perfectly? Scooby opens his mouth and it sounds like he was smacked in the head with a sack of doorknobs. If they're both dogs, they should act similar, don't you think? They're like, Scooby, where's the bad guy? Scooby's like, Scrappy's like, there he is. He's right over there. He's behind the dumpster. And can you imagine the surprise of the people in the Mystery Machine when they heard Scrappy speak for the first time and realized they had been riding around with a retarded dog for all these years? Quite disturbing, I think. How you doing? So, what else happened today? My mother called me, wished me a happy Halloween, by the way, happy Halloween. Now, my mom is one of those mothers who has a tendency to ask some of the dumbest questions of all time. Today, I made the mistake of telling her that my toilet was broken. And she's like, my God, Chris, what's wrong with it? Now, folks, how many things can possibly be wrong with a fucking toilet? It's not exactly a complicated piece of machinery. You push the handle, the shit goes down. It flushes, or it does not flush. Actually, Mom, the water's not boiling. I think that might be the problem. I'm not getting all my messages. I don't know what's wrong with it. Keeps arguing with the sink. The reception's all fucked up. I can't get a clear picture on this thing no matter what I do. I think it might be the clutch. But don't worry, because I will have the mailman look at it first thing in the morning. Meantime, I'm going to keep all my waste in a big jar in the fridge. So fuck you! I had some tough parents growing up. Tough parents! Did not beat me much, but made me go to church every Sunday. Every goddamn Sunday. Now, I'm Catholic. I believe in God, but church sucks. White church, anyway. Black church, I hear they have trampolines, funk music. It's a good time. White church is like getting poked with a stick for an hour and a half by a really weak old man. Church. And my father always got to stay home, which I thought was quite unfair. Of course, he was an atheist and didn't give a shit. But still, every Sunday rolled around and we would be getting into our Sunday best, trying to bust it on over to church, and there was Dad on the couch in his jammies, watching cartoons. And I'd say to my mommy, "Mommy, how come he doesn't have to go to church?" Mommy would look at me and say, "Because your father's going to hell. That's why. He's going straight to hell. Now get in the car before the beatings. And so we get to church. And I never knew what to do in church. I still don't. Because there's all these procedures. Stand, sit, kneel, stand, sit, kneel. This is not a church, this is a step class. Jazzercise your way to salvation. Is that what we're doing? And the communion wafer always confused the shit out of me. I understand it's supposed to be the body of Christ. But what part of the body is that from exactly? It looks more like an oxy-pad. Is that like part of the kneecap? And do you have like a wing or a thigh, perhaps? I prefer the dark meat of Christ, personally. Good night.